Hey guys, it's Slushy and welcome to another video. Now I know I'm coming at you from a different viewpoint here. My room's been totally fucking flipped upside down. It's insanity. I'll show you the whole room in a room tour, but for now, what we're gonna do today, here and now, is we're gonna do a ranking video on the Saw films. So I haven't done a ranked video in a long time, so I figured might as well just do the most recent series that I just completed, which is Saw. So let's get into it. Alright, so I have it on my tablet here, all the movies, that way I don't leave any out, because I've been known to make stupid mistakes and I have to cut it in later into the video, so I just want to have a visual image of all the movies before I get into this video and have to redo everything and shit. So, starting it off, number 9, Saw 3. I don't really have anything positive to say about this movie. I'm not going to lie though, I have rewatched the film quite recently, and I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I did back whenever I originally made the review, and any time before that. I usually hated it, but the last time I watched it, I'm not going to lie to you, I got a little bit more enjoyment out of it. The scene with the pig guts, disgusting, it grosses me the fuck out. I know that's kind of the point of these movies, but it's not even like a shocking kind of gore. It's just like I want to puke my fucking guts out, because what the fuck is that? Why would you do that? That's just disgusting, man. Like, seriously, that's, like, too much for me. Like, I've seen a lot of fucked up shit. I mean, that's not really fucked up. It's more so gross. But that movie still is the worst for me, even though I do have a lot more positives for it now. So that one's at the bottom of the list at number 9. Now, at number 8, we have Saw 2. Again, it's kind of weird, because, again, this is another film I will rewatch. And after rewatching it, I have a lot more appreciation for it. So pretty much after this, all the other movies I actually really enjoy. So Saw 3 is the only one that's, like, down there. Maybe eventually I'll love it. I don't know. But for now, I don't like it. But Saw 2 is very much the same film as the first one. It just amps up the quite a bit more violence in this one. But it basically just, like, does the same thing as the first one. Just makes it more exciting. It just puts a bunch of shit in there. I don't know if that's for the better, but it's a pretty worthy sequel. And I think Saw 2 it's not a bad film. I think I gave it I was a little harsh on it in my review. Again, I feel like a lot of these I was really harsh on in my review. Maybe it's just because I wasn't in the mood when I originally watched them. Either way, I don't know. Saw 2 is not that bad. If I had to give it a ranking now, I'd probably give it about an 8.9 out of 10. I don't know what I gave it in my review, but 8.9 out of 10 for sure. So moving on to Saw 7, or Saw the Final Chapter, Saw 3D. I have always been an appreciative person of this film, or appreciator of this film, or a lover of this film, rather. So I don't understand the hate for it. I think it's a pretty solid sequel. Is it anything like Saw 1? Is it mysterious? Is it shocking? No, it's not. Nothing about this movie is shocking. Maybe the reveal of the secret Jigsaw apprentice, which I think is okay for me to say now, because the movie's now for almost a decade, so I'm just going to go ahead and say it. It's Dr. Gordon, which was super shocking for me. It kind of blew my mind a little bit, but it wasn't as shocking as the original ending. So it's not really built on shock factor. It's more so built on just badassery. Seeing Detective Hoffman just go fucking serial killer mode. A lot of people hate that. I think it's a cool little thing. Because Hoffman was already kind of a loose cannon, He didn't really care about if they survived or not. Or if his victims, had a chance to live or die. He didn't really give a shit. Neither did Amanda. I'd say Hoffman was closer to John than Amanda as far as, making the traps. But he still really didn't give a shit. He didn't care if they lived or died. So I love seeing him go serial killer mode. I know not a lot of people share the same opinion. That's totally fucking fine. Have your opinion, I'll have mine. So coming in at number 6 is Saw 6. So again, after Saw 2, I think everything after that is just perfection for me. Saw 6 is a very awesome movie. It's not super shocking, again, or mysterious. And to me, those are two things that I really want a Saw film to be, but this film manages to, really be good without those, which is kind of crazy. I don't know what I gave it in my review. Again, I probably have a totally complete different opinion now, but I think Saw 6 is a pretty solid film. It's got good gore in it, especially that ending scene. That was fantastic. I feel like the characters actually had a choice and a chance, even though a lot of it was pretty fucked up. I say I've never actually done this, but I might make a ranking video for my favorite traps of the Saw series at some point too. I don't know, we'll see. But this had a few cool traps in it. The thing on the carousel wheel thing, I thought that was really cool. Seeing them spin around, and a certain amount of them are gonna die or live. I just thought that was pretty fucking cool. But anyway, Saw 6, solid film. I really enjoy it. Coming in at number 5 is Saw 5. This is a very underrated film. Pretty much everybody I've talked to really does not like Saw 5. I don't get it. I think Saw 5 is a really awesome film. I think it brings a lot of the same stuff that I love in a Saw movie, the excitement, the thrilling vibes, and it brings in a little bit of story that kind of furthers the sequels. Without Saw 5's story, I feel like 6 and 7 would not have been half as good as what they are, because Saw 5 set a lot of stuff up, so, Saw 5 is definitely a sequel that people really need to give another shot. If you haven't seen Saw 5 in a while, I recommend you watch it, because it is way better than what people say it is. I can guarantee that. I'm somebody who really loves shock factor, thrilling vibes, suspense and all that. In Mystique, I love whenever something happens and you're like, holy shit, that just happened. Like the original Saw ending, that threw me for a loop. It still throws me for a loop somehow. I've seen it a gazillion times since I was like 6 years old. Still throws me for a loop. That movie's fucking amazing. But anyway, Saw 5 is a pretty worthy sequel. Coming in at number 4 is Jigsaw. So this movie came out in 2017, mostly to hate. Most people didn't like it. I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. I think this movie was a perfect Saw film. I feel like the whole 10 years ago thing at the end of the movie was kind of bogus. I'm not going to get into it because this movie isn't 10 years old yet, so technically the spoiler effect is still in order. So I'm just going to say the ending of it, whenever they kept trying to explain shit, while it was kind of surprising, it just started to lose its flavor after a while. I was just kind of like, okay, we're getting a little overboard here on the plot twist. Okay, we're beyond overboard. Stop it. And then it just kept going. That's probably the only part that I was kind of like, dude, you went a little overboard on trying to shock people. But it actually worked for part of it. Parts of the explanation and who Jigsaw was and who was this apprentice, I thought was awesome. So Jigsaw comes in at number 4 for me. Coming in at number 3 is the most recent Saw film, Spiral from the Book of Saw. Now, I had my gripes with this film, but nothing that would ever weigh it down too far. It's certainly never going to be as bad as Saw 3. That movie, Spiral, I thought was a perfect Saw film, in the universe of Saw, rather. It's not really a Saw film, it's more so a film based in the same universe. So John Kramer exists, the Jigsaw Killer exists, the games have actually happened. All that shit's happened, but this is all going on at the same time frame period after Jigsaw's been killed. I wonder if this goes in between, like, Jigsaw and Spiral. I wonder if those kind of coincide, because the same writer did both, so it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Maybe we'll see a sequel to Jigsaw, and maybe those will tie in somehow. I don't know. A Saw universe, I don't fucking know, but seriously, Spiral's fucking amazing. Chris Rock, I really enjoyed his performance. Again, my only gripe with him is that sometimes it didn't really feel like a person saying those lines. It felt more like, somebody who was reading off a script, which clearly, at some point he read off the script, but obviously he's not sitting there. Oh yeah, Jigsaw Killer, he's dead, right? He's not doing that. But it just felt like it. It just didn't feel like genuine. It just felt like so flat. And then other times it was really good. Like whenever, at the very end of the movie, I'm not going to spoil it. Again, spoiler effects still definitely in order. It's only 2021. At the end, he really started to show his acting chops, and I got to give him props for that. So, and plus, Sam Jackson. Who doesn't love Sam Jackson? If you don't love Sam Jackson, go fuck yourself. I'm kidding. Everybody has their own opinion. But that's my opinion on Spiral, and that comes in my number 3. Now, coming in at my number 2, Saw 4. This is the second Saw movie I ever watched. When I was a kid, for some reason I skipped over Saw 2 and Saw 3, and this was the second movie besides the first one that I watched, and this movie, man, did it throw me for a fucking loop. The ending of this movie, whenever it's revealed that Hoffman's the killer, again, spoiler effect, way out of order, I jumped off the couch, and I can't even express the kind of excitement and shock I had when that happened. I mean, I literally had chills and goosebumps. Just thinking about it right now, I'm getting chills and goosebumps. Now it's not so exciting or shocking, obviously, because I've seen the movie a gazillion times. I feel like none of the sequels really hold their shock factor after you've seen them once. The first one, yes. The sequels just kind of lose it after the first time you see it. But either way, Saw 4 is a fucking fantastic film, and I've seen it at the bottom of a lot of people's lists. I don't understand it. If you're somebody who doesn't like Saw 4, let me know down below. I'd like to hear your opinion on what you didn't like about it. But anyways, coming in at my number 1, Saw, the original. So, this film, dude, it's literally one of the best torture porn movies, and it's hardly torture porn, because this one doesn't really have a ton of violence. It's bloody, don't get me wrong, it does have a lot of crazy shit happening, but it's not like over the top, bodies being exploded, ripped open, torn apart, saws cutting people's faces off and shit. it's not that crazy. You know, the most you see is, you know, somebody getting cut open or cutting their foot off, you know, stuff like that. So it's not really over the top in the violence department. In fact, I'd say if you're not even somebody who, if you're somebody who can't even handle violence, I can almost guarantee you, you'd probably be able to handle the original Saw movie. There's just not a ton of blood. But that's my opinion on Saw. I don't want to really get into it that much, but James Wan is a legend. Leigh Whannell wrote it. Those guys are a perfect duo. They make the best movies, you know, Conjuring, Insidious movies, dude. They are legends. They are legends among men and women. So, I don't know what to say. Saw is the fucking perfect film. And I've actually had one of my friends tell me, would Saw be as good without the ending? And, you know, that had to sit on my mind for a while, and eventually I came up with the response, yes. Because this movie is a very well-crafted thriller. Even if you took away the shocking ending and you just ended it after Zepp came in and got killed and stuff and Dr. Gordon got away, that would have been a perfect ending. I mean, I would have been totally content with that. But they decided to go overboard and give us something that would stick with us. 20 years later, here we are, still fucking shocking as hell. I don't know about you guys, but I still watch Saw, and when I watch Saw, I get chills up and down my spine, and it raises the hairs down my arms. No other movie does that, seriously. So, Saw is a legend. The movie itself is just a beast in the movie world. So, that's my ranking on the Saw movies. I also want to say, if you guys haven't seen the Saw short film that the franchise is based off of, I recommend you go check it out. It's pretty awesome. It's really short. Obviously, it's a short film. I think it's like 11 minutes. So just go give it a shot. You know, it's kind of what started Saw, so it's kind of cool to see where Saw came from. So yeah, go give it a shot. But that's my opinion on the Saw movies. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hit like if you did. Subscribe if you're not already. Hit the bell to get notified anytime I make a video or stream. Keep up to date with the channel. There's some crazy going on, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.